is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, Osaka Jack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello everyone, this is Osaka Jack and welcome to Into the Spotlight. Today with me I have a guest who is rather hard to pin down, but we got him! Ha 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 ha! There is no escape. Okay, no, just joking. Mr. Bejoty, hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing mighty fine. How are you doing today?
Oh, not too shabby. It's a little allergenic today. Is that a word?
I think, yeah, it is.
You know what? I like that. A description for when it is an allergy-ridden day. Allergenic.
It's
No?
those
Okay.
post-cherry blossoms. Actually, I have no idea when they come out for you.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Cherry blossoms just finished in this area. They finished full bloom a good 9-10 days ago. So yeah, that's about right.
Cool, that's almost the exact same as the cherry blossoms around campus here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, I think I saw that. One of the days that you posted pictures of cherry blossoms on campus was when I was going out to look at some myself.
Cool, yeah, that was about the peak. And I think I actually tweeted that a day after I took the picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're in sync then. Yay! Wonderful.
I like it.
That surprises me. For some reason, I thought Osaka would be slightly warmer than your area.
Hmm. Well, it might be still.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
they seem to consistently come out right after spring break, so it's really nice coming back for spring quarter
Okay.
and
Okay.
just having just pink trees everywhere. We know how we love our pink.
Yep. Absolutely. They come out here. Yeah. Beginning of April is usually when it hits. It is possible, and I haven't done it, but I have seen people who do it. You can start at the southwestern tip of Japan, and like every day, just head a few dozen kilometers up north, and you can follow the cherry trees on a month-long process.
It's like a cherry blossom pilgrimage. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Like the last area, the Hokkaido and Aomori area, the last area, they get in full bloom beginning of May. So it's
Ooh,
usually very perfect.
man. You'll hear me talk about if I ever have a spare hour to do something, but if I ever had a spare month and a half, I would I would fly over.
Yes, yes, I can. Yeah,
But
it's
one
one
of
of
these days,
those.
I have to visit you. In fact, I just talked to my mom. I realized that I can get a free flight to Osaka, and I hear that's where you live.
Apparently, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If it's a huge practical joke that everybody's playing on me, then I'm rather impressed because they've done a really fine job of it.
really. How'd you get that nickname anyway?
I have been asked that. And, well, I only like the vowel A, and and
Well, is your name actually Jack?
no, it's not. No,
Ah, man,
no,
you
no. I
tricked the
have been asked
world.
that. Actually, I chose the name after my cat,
Oh,
whose
that's
name
fun.
it has a Jack in it, even though it's a girl.
So if I say Jack too much, she'll start to meow and ruin your show. My evil plan. That's all I'm trying to do here is just ruin your podcast.
I am Jack's utter lack of surprise. Okay. Surprisingly, I'm the only person who's made Fight Club jokes about my name so far, and I'm kind of disappointed in that.
Well, probably because I haven't had any experience with anything Fight Club.
Neither have I, but just the I am Jack's blank blank. Nobody has said that before.
I don't even. Should I know that reference? I should know it.
Oh,
Is it a
it
cultural
was
thing
just
you can
in
even?
Fight Club. They found some books where it was somebody writing in first person, referring to different parts of Jack's body. I am Jack's spleen. I clean his blood, and so they started using it throughout the entire movie. Like I am Jack's utter lack of surprise, and
Just the fact that you know about it without having seen it yourself, though, makes me feel like I probably should have ran across that eventually.
well, I've seen the movie. I just haven't, experienced my own Fight Club. Is my point.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you haven't started the Fight Club yourself. I see.
Started? No, no, I haven't started. I have started a
Well,
pun Fight Club, but
you participate, every Saturday.
yeah, yeah.
It's for a few hours.
Yep. Charity thing, that kind of thing. We get you know, stuff for orphanages, old ladies.
It keeps that shoulder muscle stretched out.
Absolutely, yes, yes. Well, if there is anybody, and I seriously doubt it, but if there is anybody who does not know of you or what you do, could you give us a quick rundown? Who are you?
All right. Well, my real name's Austin. I put that out there enough so people see that.
Yes, yes.
I do a lot of stuff in this pony community. If you've heard about that,
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit. Yeah, I'd be surprised if people found their way this direction without knowing too much about it. I guess I'm probably most well known for this convention called Everfree Northwest.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
That takes place in Seattle every year, although by every year we've only had one event so far and one planned this
Well, then
July.
100% of them have been in Seattle, haven't they?
Yes, and 100% of them have been successful.
Yes.
That's the main thing I do. It takes a lot of my time. I'm also a full-time student at the University of Washington,
Oh, wow. Okay.
majoring in computer science.
Okay.
So when I'm when I'm out of classes, I'm back in my cave answering emails and making sure fires aren't starting up in random areas.
Hmm. Well, if you do overclock the CPU, that can happen. Hey, I made
Yeah,
a computer joke. Look at me. I'm happy. Okay.
fantastic computer joke. I was actually referencing the convention, but yeah, fires in the computer are bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should avoid those as well. Yeah, last year I was the top man, the guy in charge, giving orders and
Mhm.
cracking the whip.
Right.
This year, the fantastic Royal Coat has taken over that lead position. He's doing
Oh,
a
okay. Okay.
way better job than I ever did with it. And I've dropped down, I guess, official title vice chair, co-chair.
Okay.
So still a very heavy hand, but enough that I can kind of bounce around and help where's really needed at the moment, and not have to kind of manage all the departments at once.
Right. Right. Well,
Um,
I mean, your heaviest involvement is Everfree Northwest, but you are a con man. I mean, that has become something of a negative connotation, but I cannot think of a better term to describe you. You
well, I don't know if
exist
you
in
realize, but
conventions.
I've already cheated you out of about $20 just in this talk so
Yeah,
far.
I know. And it was on that pony game too, the game loft one.
Uh,
Ah,
which, by the way, as of well, maybe like an hour now, we've been talking for a while.
yeah.
I have achieved all of these elemental shards of magic,
Good for you. I still
and
have 26 or so to go.
I want to say that's like the end game, but it was really disappointing.
Yeah.
Night Rune kind of talks to you for a second, and it's like, but you haven't won, and then just nothing happens. So I don't really know what to do next, but I feel some sense of achievement.
Sure, sure.
Maybe not as much as also about a couple hours ago, I reached 100 skill level in smithing in Skyrim.
Oh, very nice.
Because games are fantastic, and I never have the time to play them.
Yes, yes. Are you able to make your own what's the new element? Stall I can't remember from the Solstheim Isle.
I have not yet updated that, but I'm so
Oh!
freaking excited for it because Morrowind is one of my favorite games of all time,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and that's where Solstheim was first introduced as one of the
Right.
expansions, Blood Moon. Yeah, I'd say Morrowind is my number one
Ah.
favorite game.
You get a
It's,
new material to work with. I won't say much more about it, but it's living ice.
oh goodness,
Mhm.
yeah, I heard there's a lot of throwbacks to the old game too, so I'm really excited about that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, right now I'm happy with my dragon armor that I just made for myself. Woohoo!
That's nice stuff. Yeah. But you do are involved with quite a few conventions. Not just attending,
back,
but
back to the con man.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
To some extent, yeah. I've helped out with a few, consulted a few, or been a consult, I guess.
Yeah.
One of those directions.
Right, right.
Grammar, words, they happen.
Yeah.
Helped out with our good buddies, Equestria LA. They're a fantastic convention down in California,
Yep.
if you didn't guess by the name itself. And anyone listening, I would heavily recommend checking them out. They are with the second weekend of May. It's coming up pretty quickly.
Yep. Coming up
10th
fast.
through something, 12th. That makes
Makes sense.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. It's going to kick ass.
I wish I could, but no, I had to choose one convention, and I chose Everfree Northwest.
You are going to Everfree Northwest.
I am going to Everfree Northwest. As of recording this, my hotel is purchased, my ticket is purchased, my registration is purchased. Now I just need to save money for food and swag.
If I can say this, sir,
Mm.
you've made a good choice.
Yes, I hope so.
I have it on pretty good authority that this convention is going to be, fun, to say the least.
Will it be off the hook?
On and off the hook,
Oh my
all over the
goodness.
place. The
Wow,
hook,
okay.
you won't be able to track the hook.
Nice. Nice. That'll get people hooked on it for sure.
Oh yes, that is the plan. In fact,
Wordplay. It works. Okay.
uh, we are now an upper class interview.
Well, okay, so you've gone to a bunch of conventions, you've helped out at a bunch. What would you say if you can attempt to take a step back? Do you enjoy the small personal ones or the large, incredible crowd expanding ones?
Well, there definitely gets a point where the largeness of a convention can seem pretty intimidating, and just you lose yourself in them.
Hmm.
Because I guess the other big convention that's not Pony that I work with a lot is the Penny Arcade Expo.
Oh, the PAX, yes.
Yes, PAX. I've been enforcing pretty much since I turned 18. Was able to enforce.
Nice.
I go to all of them.
Hmm.
Now I can say all of them, not both of them, because they have a new PAX Australia coming this summer.
That's right.
That, as far as I know, I should be able to go to.
Oh, very good.
But yeah, in Boston, PAX East, and Seattle for PAX Prime. I've
Hmm.
enforced for 3 full years now, at least.
Wow, very nice.
And those smart listeners can probably figure my age out by now. I've given enough information, though it might have been rounded in some direction. Who knows?
So you go for the larger ones as a general?
Oh yeah, I didn't quite answer your question.
Yeah,
Um,
that's okay.
if I may straddle both sides, both conventions can be a lot of fun. I've gone to a couple
Sure.
small conventions, not a lot, but
Hmm.
if it's for a community that you love, like you're gonna have a freaking blast. It's gonna be amazing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Whereas like PAX, I've kind of been with as they've grown.
Right.
So they were pretty middle range, large convention when I first started going in 2007, I want to say,
Okay.
and then they eventually reached their cap up near like 70,000 attendees or something. I've heard word they don't plan to expand further than that because really
That
it gets
is
to it
larger
gets
than
to a
my
point
hometown,
where
so yeah.
one, I mean the Washington State Convention Center isn't going to hold much more than that.
Right.
And then the lines start being an issue. If you're waiting for like in 3 hours before a panel just to get into the panel, there's a problem there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's why they're instead decided to just go to different states and have multiple PAXs, assuming that people would eventually just go to their local one and not all of them.
Like you do.
I do, yes.
Well, now, I mean, I have to admit, at Free Northwest, this will be my first convention,
Oh, I'm
like
so
ever.
excited for you.
Yes. What would you say is one of the prime rookie mistakes? Something that you see
Uh,
people doing a lot when they first go to a convention.
of convention attending.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta say, one year I forgot to bring underwear. That's bad.
I think I'm covered on that, but okay.
No, it's don't overstretch yourself. Don't feel like you have to go to all the convention's events. Really,
Okay.
the convention is there as a central event just for people to kind of flock to. But the real fun there is hanging out with friends and fans and making new friends and
Right, right.
going out to dinner and really exploring the new town. If you haven't been to the city before, I mean,
Hmm.
Seattle is pretty darn beautiful around that time of year.
Good.
August is better in my opinion, but July there's a little more risk of having a rainy weekend, but it should still be pretty warm if the weather is cooperating.
Well, it is inside, so I think that's okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of stuck in the SeaTac area. Not a lot to do outside, but take the link up to the main city, and there's so much fun to do. I'd recommend having one day on one of the sides of the convention to
Hmm.
check it out. Or what I've been telling people is since we're on July 4th weekend,
Hmm.
and the July 4th lands on a Thursday before the actual convention starts,
Yes.
make sure you get there a day early and, well, one, not travel on the horrible flight days,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then go see one of our awesome fireworks shows. We have a lot of overwater fireworks, Lake Union, like Washington,
Nice.
maybe. there's cool stuff. We've gone to a bunch. I just don't know where they all are.
my my hometown, St. Louis, we would also have overwater fireworks show, but it's over the Mississippi River, so
Oh.
much more narrow, but still very very enjoyable. I think if you can have something on the water, it's safer, so they can plan for more explosions.
Yeah, that is a city I've definitely wanted to travel to.
It's a wonderful city to visit.
Yeah, I've been to. I mean, I've flown towards all sort of cities in the U.S., but just to the airports on the way to other cities.
Unfortunately, St.
And
Louis Airport, I would not qualify. I would not classify it as high. No.
not very high. Okay.
Yeah, not high in any rating system that I could imagine off the top of my head.
Yeah, you wouldn't give it a top 10 for anything specific.
No, no, not at
Yeah.
all.
Quick tangent of top 10 airports. I saw an article recently because I have this information on me.
Uh,
I saw an article just this past week put Vancouver, BC, their airport as one of the most beautiful and efficient airports in the world.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah, and I think Beijing is one of them.
Mhm.
Amsterdam might be up there, and a few European countries. There's none in the U.S. that made the top 10,
Oh, wow.
and which I would agree with. A lot of them are pretty crap. But I have
Yeah.
not needed to go because I live so close to Vancouver. There's no need for me to fly there. I haven't seen the airport myself, but I've heard
Oh,
amazing
interesting.
things.
I I I would say I really like Kansai International Airport, KIX, KIX, just because it's the story of it is so tragically funny. Um, just in brief, they decided to build an airport in the middle of the ocean, and it was not until after the airport had been completed that they realized that it was sinking.
Oh goodness!
So the airport is literally sinking into the well, I guess the bay. It's not really the ocean area, but it is literally sinking into it, and they have hundreds upon hundreds of hydraulic supports that every day they check. Okay, how far has this area sunk, and do we need to push up the hydraulics more or less to keep the entire airport level?
Oof.
It is very pretty and it's nice, and they have said it'll be a long time before it sinks beyond repair, but yeah, it is irrevocably sinking into the ocean. Well, you've gone to a bunch of cons and you have experience with that, but I've never encountered somebody who has gone to airports as much as you.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, my mom is a flight attendant, so I
Okay.
get a little bit of flying perks, to say the least. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
definitely visited quite a handful of airports by now.
Hmm. I think not just flying perks, but you know how the system works. I mean, you're on the ball with it.
I definitely know how to get around the standby system. That's how I have to fly. So
Yeah, I.
I I know the days that I need to jump at it early, leave a day early, when I need to sleep in the airport, which has happened a handful of times.
Hmm. Hmm. No, I'm not nearly as confident regarding that. If I don't have my seat assignment 2 weeks before flight, then I start panicking.
Yeah, pretty much every convention I go to, I never figure out lodging because I never know if I can actually make it to the convention or not.
Oh, okay.
It ends up being like that Thursday before the con, and I'm trying to fly out and being like, "Oh hey, cool, looks like I'll make it on the flight. Who has some spare room in their room?" And it always kind of seems to work out last second, but that's how
Good.
I roll.
I would freak out. I would honestly go into a freak out mode. I don't clean my apartment very often, I admit this fully, but regarding a lot of other things in my life, I need perfect scheduling for it. Just,
I've long since given up trying to have a perfect schedule. It's I'm
oh.
already balancing like 5 projects.
Well, speaking of projects, you have hinted at me, but you have not mentioned it to me, that you have a secret project that you're working on, which is, as the
Indeed,
time
I
of
have.
this interview, possibly released and public, but as of right
It
now, I
will
have
be.
no idea.
I will make sure you don't post this
Right.
interview until it is public.
Okay.
But you can kind. I mean, it's kind of an exclusive. This is the first time anyone's been able to talk about it beyond the campaign that should be up when it goes live. And
Mhm.
you haven't heard anything about it, have you?
I have heard nothing about it, no. I can make unsubstantiated guesses, but that's about it.
So the fun part is, the people listening to this might already have a really good idea what it is, but you don't at
I
all.
don't. Let's see how I can think on my feet on my toes.
That's fantastic. All right, so for the past year, I've been kicking this idea around with a few friends, and it just started to grow and grow, and finally just become a lot more tangible recently.
Hmm.
So the past few months, it has been a thing. We've been in planning, and in about a week, maybe in the past week when this airs live, we
Right.
will have announced Musiquestria, which is
Musiquestria.
a Musiquestria. That's a concatenation of music and equestria. If you
I
can't
got
just
that, yeah.
hear it ring in your
Right,
ears,
right.
pretty straightforward, yeah.
Mhm.
So it is music related. It is a 4 week cross country road trip
Oh my
and pony
goodness.
music tour.
Ooh,
It is our community's first large scale music tour.
interesting. Now,
Yeah,
you
I
said
am
cross
looking.
country. Does this mean it's America exclusive?
No, it's actually Japan.
Cool! I would love to know how you're going to do a road trip here, but hey, more power to you.
Cross country. It takes 4 weeks to drive across Japan, I'm pretty sure, in all the major cities.
Well, no, my point was, is it going to hit any of the Canadian cities?
No, unfortunately, that raises a few liability issues, and
Right, right.
that's probably the main issue, really. The other stuff is just money and trying to make sure we can get merchandise across the border because
Of
that will be
course.
a business.
Right.
It gets complicated fast.
Okay, okay. But no,
But yeah,
wow, interesting. A 4-week road trip through America.
yeah, and the
S-
reason it's 4 weeks, it's actually more around 3.5 weeks, is because it starts at Everfree Northwest
Oh,
and
okay.
ends at BronyCon.
Oh, interesting.
So we're fitting it between between the times of the two major Brony conventions going on this summer,
Wow.
or the two of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So,
And yeah, hoping to hit like as many as 25 major cities. That's currently what we're scheduled for, or trying to get for. Really, it's all going to depend on money.
of course.
So of course, if you're hearing this now, then the Indiegogo campaign should be up, and you'll link to that, I'm sure. Go find
Absolutely,
it. Go
yes. Yep.
give us some money, because we do have to reach a significant amount of money before this can be a tangible effort.
Right.
Coming out of nothing, it's not. The number might scare some people. I actually don't even quite know what it is myself, but
Mm-hmm.
um, basically, we have to hit a certain number to be able to do a tour, and it'll be kind of a limited tour. Maybe
Right.
only go to half the cities we're planning.
Mm.
We might have to do like a two-part tour where we're going down the west coast for one and then up the east coast for the other. But if we
That's something. I
reach
mean,
our
yeah.
yeah, but if we reach our significant benchmark, then we should be able to do the full cross-country tour. If we get some more money, you'll be able to add more shows. If we get more money, we
Yes.
can bring in more guests, more performers.
Wonderful.
So it scales nicely, and it should be really, really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Now, are you guys going to be doing like concert halls, or are you just doing like in the park, random set up and play and leave before the cops come?
We're definitely planning to play a lot of serious music venues.
Okay, okay.
Nothing too huge, because I mean, bronies are everywhere, but it's hard
Right.
to pull a large crowd for a local area.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be looking for the good, 100-person or so venues, whatever can fit, 100, 500. That's usually that low mid range venue that you can find.
Right, right. Oh,
And for the large part, this isn't me scoping out these venues. So our tour manager, who is not me, I'm more just kind of a project director of sorts.
right.
Our tour manager knows the details, and she'll be able to find us some really good places to play.
I'm sure. Yeah. Are there any specific names you can mention that will be in Musiquestria, or is that still slightly up in the air?
I'd be willing to release a few right here.
Okay.
Because some we are waiting for confirmation. Some have
Sure.
expressed very heavy interest, but we
Right.
have plenty signed on, ready to go right now.
Okay.
So going down the list, if you've heard of Pony Don DeVore, he does some
Okay.
fantastic music. Let's see, the Ballad of Applejack, I believe, is
Right. I
one
know
of
that
them's
one.
called.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to open my iTunes just to make sure I get some of these right. I, and I should have been more prepared. I could have had like a full list of names and what they do and
You
YouTube
were
channels
just
and all this stuff.
chiding me
So
on whether or not I would be prepared for this surprise announcement, and look at you. Okay, sorry.
well, I mean, this isn't really an interview about Musiquestria. This is more
Very
of just
true.
a
Very
small.
true. It's you. Yeah.
But no, yeah. So you got Pony Don. You got Pony One Kenobi,
Oh, okay.
Tarby,
Nice.
Fenning will be there.
Oh, okay.
Silverhound has joined on.
Nice.
That's a pretty good name. And the let's see. I just don't want to forget people because I don't know exactly who has confirmed. But basically, go to the Indiegogo page, and that will have the current list because we will likely even have more people by the time this comes out.
Probably, yeah.
But the name that I do kind of want to push right now, we have gotten heavy interest from Replacer,
Ooh. Ooh, that would be
who will
very
be
interesting.
flying into Everfree Northwest from New Zealand, if people didn't know
Nice.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
and joining us on our tour across the country.
Oh. Now, will this be? I'm just trying to imagine. Will this be like just rent a van or rent several vans and just huge road trip, video blog every day type thing?
Yep, that's completely the plan. I mean, again, if we lack money, then we might try to like just stuff ourselves in station wagons or something. Who knows?
Right. Sure, sure.
And if the community just wants to bring us like $1 million, then we'll get full on tour vans and we can have a caravan and have a bunch of fans travel behind us. I don't know. It'll scale to some extent. Maybe we'll have a tour plane that we can go from like San Francisco to LA on by plane.
Uh,
Because why not?
I think there's a certain romance to driving the road trips. I don't. I understand that a lot of bands have to fly to their different venues on their tour, but just the idea that they couldn't stop here, but they're driving through. That's so awesome. Just
No, in all seriousness, I would way prefer to drive.
yeah.
Well, one, it's just so much cheaper anyways, but yeah, you'd miss all the beauty. I can't wait to drive down the West Coast, up the East Coast, go to the Grand Canyon for the first time. I've never seen it.
Oh, very
Drive
nice.
up the Mississippi.
Nice. I recommend the
Those
roads
are
on the side of it actually, as
really.
opposed to the Mississippi itself. Yeah, the floating cars just can't fight that current so well. But
Driving up. Okay, I see where you're going there. You made it funny.
I did. Yeah.
I thought you meant like, yeah, don't drive like the slow roads right next to the river. You want to go on the highway like a mile off. Like, but then you'd miss the whole point.
Well, you may wish to check flood conditions because probably it'll be okay, but there's a chance that it could flood, and yeah, sometimes the flood gets 20 feet above the levee level, so probably it's okay, but you might want to check before driving those small roads. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll probably keep it to somewhat larger roads. I'm sure they still go by the river,
Oh yes, yeah.
but yeah, I plan for it to be very muggy down in the south. We're going right in the smack middle of summer.
Yeah, bring extra towels. I'm
Let's go
totally
ahead and
serious about
stuff.
that. You need a lot of towels to stay not sweaty.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited to stuff like 8 musicians into a car as we drive all day in the sweltering heat.
Do make sure you have a camera capable of a lot of recording because I can imagine a lot of on the road songs popping up. I really can.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm hoping we even like write songs on the road that we can perform for the first time at some of these venues.
Yes, that would be
So
amazing.
I'll be bringing my camera, extra batteries, extra memory. I'm
Mhm.
sure people will have theirs too. I mean, we are planning. That's part of the deal. We're going to be documenting our progress and all the shenanigans we have on the road.
Good. This should be fun. Yeah. So with Musiquestria, you obviously have a bunch of people that have signed up and probably many more that have expressed interest. If there is somebody out there who has interest but hasn't been contacted or stuff, is it still possible for them to get on the venue?
On a tour, it's possible.
Okay.
I don't know where we fit right now
Right.
with space for the tour itself, like the road trip.
Yeah.
But some of the venues we might be able to add a couple local musicians or performers.
Well, on the flip side of that, if somebody is not musically talented, but if they say, "Hey, I live here and I can drive you guys from this city to this city," is that something that would be something you guys would be interested in hearing from?
Also, very possible. I mean, we're probably going to be crammed into whatever we end up driving. So if we manage to get one more vehicle for a couple of the cities and just kind of be able to space out a little bit more in our transportation, that's always appreciated.
Okay, all right.
Uh, and one of the things we're going to be looking for to keep the prices down, so we can go to more cities, bring more people on, is if anyone locally is able to provide lodging
Ah,
of some
okay.
sort,
Right, right.
or feed us, feed the bands.
Sure.
All that kind of stuff can cut down on price and make the performances better for the audience.
Yeah, wow. And I would
Yeah.
assume a large supply of lozenges just to keep
Oh, of
everybody's
course.
throat fresh.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I mean, you can't really avoid sickness during these kind of things, but hopefully it doesn't affect the performances too bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to one of the biggest cities and end up having all of the performers just not be able to speak.
That would be
But wouldn't be as interesting.
Today we're gonna do the quiet songs because nobody can speak.
We would just have to feature all of our electronic music or instrumentals. That's always fun.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds really nice. I would
Yeah.
assume, I do not know right now, but to the Indiegogo campaign, I'm sure we'll have links to sites that we can check out, and I would guess you're going to make a YouTube channel.
Definitely. I've actually secretly made something for all the social media already.
Okay.
We'll have Twitter, Tumblr going. Tumblr might be probably the most utilized of everything, just because it's easy to post video and pictures and
Right.
random textual stuff. Twitter, I'm a huge fan of, so that's really likely to be there too. YouTube is just maybe just all of our videos. So
Right. Right.
we'll see how it works.
Huh.
And also, it might end up not being just musicians. We might have like a comedy actor or something like that. That's
Interesting.
why I keep correcting myself and saying performers.
Right. Right. Okay.
It
Okay.
might evolve to be just a multi-talent show.
Huh. Wow. This sounds really good. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I've been really excited for it.
Is the overarching plan for this to be a one-shot thing, or possibly next year as well?
If the community is able to support it for a second year, I would love to do it again.
Awesome.
But we do rely quite a bit on community support.
Sure.
It's the way these things go. It
Yeah.
not coming with any money. Like none of these musicians have a record deal. A lot of them are
Sure.
going to be missing some work.
Yeah.
So it's just in order for this to really be successful, we're gonna need some donations.
I mean, flat out, I'd offer my own services, but yeah, if I'm gone a month, then I've lost my job. So I would need a career if anybody's willing to donate.
That should be an option. Can I donate a career? Like, oh, it'd be wonderful.
You might want to check which career they're offering.
Oh yeah, no, just flat out agree to anything.
Yeah, sure. What do I do? Where do I start? That's the uniform? Really? Oh, okay. Little breezy, isn't it? Okay, sure.
Are you going to be sweeping out the sewers? Oh, okay. For minimum wage. Oh,
And if you work here only
oh, not.
6 weeks, we give you a broom.
But right now, sorry, you can't have any other tools. Just
Yeah. Tell you what,
use whatever you
tomorrow we'll get you
find.
gloves. Okay, how about that?
Oh goodness. Oh, and I mentioned it wasn't your state minimum wage; it was the federal minimum wage. We
Oh,
don't have enough to afford for that.
you're going to work based on tips, so
Ooh,
uh,
it's a job, but technically we have to list it as a volunteer service.
Are you
That's the
familiar with
only
the
way we
term
can get around the
indentured
legalities of paying you
servant?
so little.
Does the term indentured servant mean anything to you? Just checking.
Oh goodness.
Well, you listed a lot of the people on here as performers, but how about you? Will you be performing at any of these venues?
I am definitely planning to perform
Okay.
because number one, I'm just going to be extremely selfish. I really want to go on a road trip.
Yeah.
But no, I've as little as it seems, I am definitely a musician. I do have pony songs. I've written probably about four complete songs, and I have like seven or eight more partially done to some extent. And I have not released any of them yet for some odd reason.
You've released the occasional SoundCloud tease, which I try to snap up as soon as I can,
Yeah,
but usually it's difficult.
yeah, I have a few demos out.
Uh-huh. I'm familiar with
Nothing
them.
nothing complete. I don't think nothing original is complete recorded yet.
I don't know. You're very modest about this among all your other qualities. You rightfully brag, but about the musician thing, you tend to get really modest, and it's funny to watch, or listen to. But no, you're
I'm
very
trying to brag
talented.
about anything. I can brag. No, I'm a kick-ass musician. I think I have a fairly decent voice. I do take pride in my guitar skills, my folk
Yeah,
picking and stuff. That is kind of my strength, though. So
yes, yes. I
if
recall
someone can beat
seeing
me
a
with
video.
that, step up and show me because I would love to listen to it. Actually,
I recall seeing a video from some time ago of you meeting up with Acoustic Brony, and I think you
yes,
guys were in
yeah.
the park just playing, but nobody was singing.
Um, did we public release the video to Mando Pony? We pretty much just covered a stupid, ridiculous cover of what was it?
Loyalty.
Jason Mraz, "I'm Yours."
Oh, okay, okay. I think it
Yeah,
was
we played
loyalty.
"I'm Yours." No one knew the lyrics, so we got through the first verse and chorus and kind of made stuff up and soloed and jumped out and laughed and ended it. It was fantastic though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so is that
I should
something people can look forward to? Is your performance along with these other wonderful, talented musicians?
Definitely, yeah. Because I'm ready to perform them live, but I don't have any recordings up yet. In fact, I think people can look forward to me recording some music and putting it on YouTube because I hopefully can push myself to do that some of these days.
Well, I think it would be nice, and I think people would really appreciate it. But like we've said, time is definitely a factor. Um,
Yeah. Well, one of the main reasons, honestly, that I don't put music on YouTube right now is because I don't have time to develop my fan base, to talk to people who like my music,
right.
which kills me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people are on there being like, "Oh, can I have the tabs to this?" Or like, "Oh, how can you do this song next? Like, how'd you do this?"
Hmm.
Or just all the praise and compliments. I can't respond to them. I don't have time to go on and look through these comments. So
Right. Right.
it would kill me to upload videos and just not be able to communicate with people anymore.
Yeah. And unfortunately, due to the nature of the internet, if you don't comment on anything, then it comes off as looking snobbish, and that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, and I I already feel like I'm a risk at that just for my exposure in the internet in general. So
Hmm.
no need to feed that fire anymore.
Yeah, there's a difference between not choosing to respond and just not having the time to respond. But
Seriously, and it
unfortunately, to
kills
the
me.
person who gets no response, it's identical. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to one of my commenters, one of my fans on YouTube. I want to say Neosword 3000
Okay.
off the top of my head. Don't know if he'll ever be watching this video. I might try to point it that direction or something, but
Sure.
um, he was one of my fans from pretty early on. And when I went to Canterlot Gardens, he caught me from the front of the crowd and was like, "Dude, I love your music. When are you gonna post something else?" And I told him I'm planning to post something else within the week, and I didn't.
Oh no.
In fact, the next thing I posted was like half a year from that point.
Oh gosh.
Um, but he commented and like, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm the one that you met at Candlelight Gardens, so caught up again, and I apologize because I'm horrible. I really wish I could upload music more often, and I just don't.
Yeah, time is a heck of a thing, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah.
wow. All right, so we've got Everfree Northwest, then Musiquestria leading into BronyCon. You guys are going to be wiped out when you reach BronyCon. You realize this?
Oh yeah, and immune system's low, ready to get all of the con crud on day one.
Well, the good thing is, I mean, leaving Everfree Northwest, staying in a small confined space, you guys might be the only ones immune to it once you reach BronyCon.
It's true. We're probably gonna be sick the entire tour. Reach BronyCon and be amazingly healthy.
You guys would be the ones spreading it to everybody else.
Oh goodness. Apologies in advance. The entirety of BronyCon. We didn't mean to get 4,000 people sick or whatever they're aiming for this year, but oh goodness.
I'll see if I can send you some of those face masks that keep your keep your sicknesses to yourself. They really
That
help.
could just be our look for the tour. We got color on the face masks and make them ponied and then just wear them with form and
That yeah, you know what? That would look great.
stylish, right? Like that's what all the hip people are wearing these days.
Yeah, you could start a
Or,
trend.
uh, or maybe it's just have a high population of Asian in UW right now.
We can make
It's
it the
definitely
next fashion
that's
statement.
more of a yeah, no, it's totally a fashion statement. That's really ingrained in Eastern culture, though. I've always wondered where specifically that came from because it seems to not just be like when you're sick; it's just to avoid sickness.
Well, I can tell you from what I've been able to glean, when you are sick, it's polite for you to use that because it allows other people to not get sick. But if you know that everybody else is going to be sick, it also works very well to keep yourself healthier. But another reason, uh, some girls will use it if they don't have time to apply makeup,
Really?
and I mean, it's pretty much expected that if you have the mask on, you don't need lipstick, you don't need a lot of foundation. Just do the eyes and you're good. And I
Yeah,
have
that
done,
makes sense.
yep.
Instead of cheating.
Well, and it's also they're very effective at blocking allergens. So if it's a day that you're sneezing a lot, wearing a mask, you're fine. But even if it's one of those days where your nose is just running and not stopping, I have taken tissue, jammed them up my nose, put a mask over that, and been fine the entire way to work.
Oh, oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it's
The
I
nose
look at it. I
uses
mean,
for
it's
face
it's
masks.
multi-purpose, but Yeah, I have driven to work with tissue jammed up my nose, and nobody said anything because they couldn't see it.
Man, I wonder how common that one is for the allergens.
Pretty common. I mean, a lot of the masks are described as blocking allergens.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just
I,
like the use as an excuse to not put makeup on. Actually, I kind of respect that a little bit. Well, maybe not to hide it, but I kind of like that some girls just don't put makeup on as much because it's so overused these days, especially in the U.S.
I would agree. And no, I've seen quite a few people, quite a few of my students. Why are you wearing that much makeup? You're 14. Okay, whatever.
Oh wow, yeah, I've seen that too. That's a more common recent trend.
Yeah, I can't
Oof.
say I approve of it. I honestly, I would be fine if that was the extent of it, but no, no. Oh, look at you! You're wearing a leather miniskirt and thigh-high boots. How are you doing, little 9-year-old?
Oh goodness.
Those are the children I teach. Not all of them, granted. I grant you, but yeah, a few of
But
them.
it happens.
Yep. And I look at the parents like, why are you allowing this or encouraging it? Looking at your wardrobe right now. Never mind.
Oof,
Oh, there
goodness.
there is one more use for the mask, which I think would make it a big hit in America. If you have that monstrous zit that
Ah,
fully hides it, and nobody can question you.
that's a fair point.
Yep.
If it's within that area,
Yes,
unless you have a
of
full
course.
face mask across.
Yeah, if it's on your forehead, then wearing a mask actually draws attention to it. So yeah, you don't do that. Or you can just put the mask on your forehead. What are you doing? It's a statement against um,
It's totally.
brainwashing. I'm against brainwashing, so I don't know. I can't follow it.
Oh, so much face mask. I have a question for you.
Okay,
You have not gone to a convention before.
I have not. No.
What are you looking forward to at Everfree?
Ooh, I have a lot of handshakes that I have to give out. Warm handshakes, which will probably turn into the handshake hug. But it's just my style to generally start with a handshake. I got a lot of people that I
Yeah.
want to meet. Hopefully, if I can get enough, I've got gifts that I want to give to people.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a large list of people that I'm really looking forward to seeing, even if it's just for a moment and introducing. Yeah, I think that right now that's kind of the main thing.
Well, as a fair warning, the handshake may turn into the handshake hug, but
Yeah.
the handshake hug often turns into a fever
Okay.
if you get enough of them.
Right. Right.
I can't stop myself. I know that. Last con I went to, I just there was so much contact. I'm like, screw it, I'll get sick. There's no way around it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm going to be bringing the hand gel. I think when I finish the con activities, I'm going to put my own little mask on. I'm probably actually this does help if you wear the face mask when you're sleeping. It helps get over the colds quicker.
Oh, really?
It's kind of it prevents new things from entering your body, so your body can just concentrate on what's in there already.
Huh.
And
Interesting
I'm going
thought.
to be
I wouldn't think
gargling
that too
hard
much
liquor.
more would get in during night or not.
Well, not a lot, but if I'm in a hotel and it's summertime, the air conditioning is going to be running. I can imagine it's going to be rather dry in the room.
Yeah, yeah, that happens in these hotels.
Yep. So I know I'm going to get sick, but my hope is to get as minimally sick as possible. Use the hand gel, mask at night, gargle with hard liquor, which works. I swear to God. Gargle with rum or whiskey. It works.
It works. That's what we tell people.
It does. I swear to God. You can use
No,
Listerine
I've
if
heard
you
this.
want. It's just not as nice when you finish.
I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Listerine.
I don't
Swishing
know.
around the mouth, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Gulp. I like the mint flavor.
The mint really settles the stomach well now.
But I mean, I haven't heard at this point. Every Northwest hasn't released any information about what I would assume is an upcoming concert. Um, so I'm not totally sure, but probably I will enjoy that rather a lot. But yeah, I think
Hmm.
the main thing is meeting people that I've only met online, meeting them and shaking their hand.
Yeah. Well, if you look around, Yeah, nothing's been announced yet, but sometimes you can check some blogs or tweets and
Right.
notice kind of a quick sampler of who may or may not be coming to perform
Mhm.
or have panels that may or may
Yes.
not be announced yet. So that's always a fun internet
I
scavenger
mean,
hunt
I
because
think I was given permission. I can announce my panel. I have a panel.
do it.
Yep. I have a panel at Everfree Northwest. I'll be presenting Osaka Jack's game.
What,
Still
ooh,
working on the title.
tell us about it. What is your panel all about?
It's going to be a game. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to bring as many Japanese prizes as I can. And it's just going to be a large interactive game. Everybody has a chance to win, regardless of the age. Some preference may be given to younger people because that's honestly the target audience of the show, so I don't want them to feel left out at a convention. Uh,
For
yeah,
sure,
just
that's
a
a
lot
good
of
time.
fun, random things. I promise to not make people drink crazy stuff. That was a thought in the
Don't force
beginning,
them
but
to.
we kind of threw it out. Yeah, like, no, can't do this, can't do this.
Yeah, because there were some crazy things. Oof.
Yeah, yeah, but we threw out a lot of the crazy ideas, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be random. Expect to be embarrassed, but no more than everybody else who is participating.
That's the best way to do a game, in my opinion.
Yep, yep. I mean, I have been teaching kids for 11 years now, so I have experience with fun games on the fly. So I'm going to be using all of my skills that I have developed, and I
Cool.
hope it'll be
I'm
a lot of fun.
I'm really hoping I'd be able to see maybe 5 minutes of it, but knowing how I usually work during conventions,
Yeah.
last year I did not get to see one single panel at Everfree.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, and
there's a lot to do.
I can't. As of right now, every source that I have tells me that there are going to be exclusive Japanese My Little Pony toys, but the release date for those is the vague summer. If they are
Oh,
released before I head for Everfree Northwest, that may be a prize or two available in my game, but I can't promise that yet because I don't know.
oh man,
Yeah.
that would be pretty fun to get.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Regardless, I'll have lots of cool stuff to be given away, so I hope everybody can come. It'll be fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
Man, the summer's going to be so packed.
This is going to be the summer that in 35, 40 years you're going to look back on and go, man, there's no way I could top that.
That's the goal because I
Yes.
can right now. I don't know if I can do this next year or the next year, pretty much ever again. Right now, I'm just everything's falling in place.
Mhm.
I can have one extremely epic summer just to rule them all.
One summer to find them, and in the French, bind them. One summer to rule them all.
Precisely.
Uh, well, a question that I ask in all of my interviews that you're not escaping from, no matter how much you try.
Oh no!
Ah. In all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
I love fun things. Maybe. I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That is a
What was
Rainbow
that?
Dash line from
One more time. Sorry,
RMS.
sorry. Oh, I love fun things. Okay.
I love fun things.
Uh,
Um, do you remember that from Art of the Dress?
yes, that's
Or
right.
whatever that episode was. Suited for Success? Is that what that
Suited
one
for
was?
success. Yes, suited for
Or was that
success.
the other?
I
I
think
always
that's
forget the titles, the exact titles of these shows.
suited for success. I believe is the title of the Art of the Dress one. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I
Yes,
don't know. I might think of a better line, but that's the first thing that comes to mind because Rainbow Dash, is the best of the main six.
sir.
No, but the, I shouldn't have said that. I really don't like that whole battle, anyways. But I
Yeah.
understand. There's definitely there's no best because they're all so unique and oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. People might fight me on that, but honestly, Rainbow Dash does probably most accurately describe my personality. I'd say.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
Competitive to a point, very energetic, but you kind of get a sense that there's the introvert that she's hiding.
Okay. Right.
kind of always afraid that people will see her for anything less than she's putting out.
Well, I mean, that was very obvious in the Sonic Rainboom episode, hovering in a corner,
Yeah,
shaking at the idea of performing.
exactly. And that was also the first new episode that I saw.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yep, I came in after the 15th episode had aired, and then Sonic Rainboom was the next one to.
That's a great introduction.
Definitely, yeah. I saw. Actually, my intro to the whole community was seeing a few pieces of art back in the early first season, but not really giving it much thought, which is most people's story.
Right.
And then there's this art journal linked to a YouTube video, and there was just one sentence with it that said, "Oh, so I guess Derpy's canon now." And I must have just been really bored that day or intrigued enough to check it out. I clicked the video, and it was the full episode 15 of the first season,
Okay.
with Derpy kind of giving the first real cameo there,
Right, right.
dropping crap on Twilight.
Ah, I got it.
Yeah. So actually, to my memory, what got me to watch a second episode
Hmm.
was actually Spike in that episode.
Okay. All right, Spike
Uh,
getting really nervous at the idea.
yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe he was cute. Maybe, um, maybe he's like the only male character, but I doubt that because of everything else. But yeah, it got me to start back. Actually, from there, that was half of the reason I kept watching it. The other is that I kind of looked up Derpy because I was confused of why this was a big deal at all.
Right, right.
And I went to, I want to say it was like derpyhoos.com,
Okay.
which might have been the site that eventually evolved with DHN. I'm not quite sure about that.
Okay, okay.
But anyway, they had the origin story of Derpy and kind of how the first person who noticed the Derp dies in the first episode and it evolved from there. She kind of got a backstory and a name.
Huh.
So I went back to see the first episode so I could see that frame.
Right.
Well, it happens to be like at the end of the first episode. So I end up having to watch through the whole first episode. I have to.
Of course.
And then, of course, there's that cliffhanger, and it's actually kind of getting intriguing. So then I start the second episode. It ends. It's really epic. And that night, I just marathon the full first 15.
Marathon. Marathon. I love
Marathon.
that. Very good.
And actually, pretty quickly after that, I'm just remembering all this fun stuff I did the first season. I ended up being one of the first moderators on the Philly SyncTube channel, if you remember SyncTube.
Okay, yes, I do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they used to be one of the primary locations to go for the weekly marathons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Philly, actually, the guy that started that channel, is one of my good friends, lives down near Portland.
Okay.
Friends after we met through SyncTube, this whole
Right,
thing. Then we became friends. One of my first real friends from the community in real life, which is kind of fun.
Gotcha. Huh.
But man, I remember those days. SyncTube isn't a thing anymore. They had to shut it down.
Yeah, that's a darn shame for somebody living overseas who wants to watch something at the same time as somebody else.
Seriously, it was a pretty cool little app they had going on.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I hope a clone starts up sometime soon. I really do.
Definitely. It can't be too hard to clone. The biggest deal, which I'm pretty sure is what shut it down, was just probably like bandwidth and usage.
Sure.
I'm sure it costs a lot of money to be able to.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't highly trafficked, and the cool part about that site is that it doesn't put the strain on the site servers. It's all locally buffered
Right.
through embedded YouTube videos,
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Indeed. I hope it starts up.
But I'm sure. Sorry?
I hope it starts up. I want to watch things with people again.
I know.
Instead
Well,
of
I mean,
doing. I mean, right now it's to the point where, okay, are you ready? Ready? Okay, we hit go on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It didn't load for me.
man,
Oh, crap. Go back.
I almost want to see how hard it is. Actually, I mean, we've been in contact with Mr. Chess, the guy that started it up. We could probably get enough of the code to have local versions of it.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, otherwise, I'm a student in computer science. In theory, I have enough knowledge of code that I could eventually get that figured out.
And I'm sure you have plenty of free time to do it. Yep.
Oh yeah, tons.
Just do
How
it.
you guessed? I'll do it. I'll just do it right now.
There we go. It's done. Hey, it looks nice. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to plug while you're here? We've got Everfree Northwest. We've got Musiquestria. Your own personal music. Anything else you'd like to plug?
Let's see. I'm sure I have some stuff. How about The Gaming Colts.
The Gaming Colts. Okay, what is the Gaming
The
Colts?
Gaming Colts. Actually, I want to see if they have an about page up that I can read from because that would be nice and handy.
Yes, it would.
Essentially, it's a group of motivated individuals from around this community,
Mhm.
starting through MLP and kind of growing outward from there, starting in online. I want to say game studio kind of, but basically game development, indie game
Okay,
development.
okay.
They have programmers, site developers, artists, and stuff, and really and really talented musician too.
Mhm.
And they all came together to. I actually was one of the first officers of this as well, but I don't do anything, so I think they kicked me out,
Oh,
which is fair. No, they're awesome. I just again don't really have time.
right, right.
Yeah. Oh, hey, they have a mission statement. If you
Oh,
want to check them out, they're at thegamingcolts.com.
okay. So everyone be sure to check out
No,
thegamingcolts.com. Nice.
yep, no ridiculous spelling or hyphens or anything to worry about. It's
Oh, that's
pretty
good.
straightforward to get to.
That's good.
The Gaming Cult seeks to support and nurture the practice of game development within the My Little Pony fandom. Up until now, games created within the My Little Pony fandom have either been small projects or have died out due to lost interest, poor management, and/or legal trouble.
Mm.
And we have seen that.
Yes, we
It is
have.
our solemn belief that the right talent exists within this fandom to create great games, whether those games are My Little Pony themed or not. Due to
Mm.
this belief, we will be working to support the development of any and all games created by bronies, regardless of relevance to My Little Pony.
Ooh, interesting. That's a
So, yeah,
powerful statement.
definitely, yeah, one of those things where coming from the community because this community just has amazing ambition in it.
Hmm.
People who I don't know if it just attracts people who have this aspect or if it's the show itself that triggers it, but everyone there's such a large portion of this community that just watches the show
Hmm.
and it sparks their creative talent. People who have never written anything creative before suddenly writing full-on novels and getting
Yep.
some significant fame for it within the community, within the internet.
Yeah.
People who have never really touched an instrument or getting into electronic music or even like real acoustic music
Hmm. Hmm.
and getting really good and just purely motivated out of this show in some aspect.
People who've never done interview shows before suddenly have a show on what Everfree Network. What am I doing? Who like? How did I do
Exactly.
that?
Or Everfree Network itself having
There you
a
go.
global network system to bring together a whole bunch of aspects of this community, and
Yeah.
they're doing a great job with it.
Hmm.
Or the people that decide to randomly be crazy and start conventions. I mean, we
Those
are
odd.
literally all insane. Like, why would you do that? I hear people are thankful for it, but why would you even start that idea? It's insane.
We could all use a little bit more insanity like that in the world. That's for sure.
Hey, it helps out.
Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you so much for coming by and speaking with us today.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me and finally tracking me down.
Hmm. And if anybody wants to, they should be following you on Twitter. YouTube, you have a channel. And Musiquestria is going to be coming up very soon. Everfree Northwest. We're going to put all the links in the bottom here. So, yeah.
Definitely, and almost all my stuff is Bejoty Games.
Hmm.
Bejoty Games, and actually, that name also came from the wish to eventually do game development in some sense in the future.
Okay. All right.
Of course, then all this happened.
Well, yeah.
Bejoty was going to be the name of an indie game studio, but then I took it for myself, and now it would sound very self-centered if I tried that.
Nah, why not? Psh. Anybody asks, they know it. They can find the origin. It's not a problem.
I'm, I'm just kind of a big deal.
It's a game based on my life. You have to start up your own convention. Here's the problems you'll be facing. Okay.
It's a game based on my ego.
This would be a fun game. Honestly, I would play that. I would play the ego game.
And on that note, now that I'm all full of myself,
uh, Everyone, this has been Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack. Today I've been talking with Bejoty. Be sure to follow him on the many social media sites that he has. Everyone, this has been Into the Spotlight for Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.
thanks for listening, guys.